Please welcome best-selling author Emma Walton Hamilton and her mother, the legendary Dame Julie Andrews. A lot of work, an amazing career, and now there's a book that chronicles at least the film years. You did another book before that just called Home.
That's right.
That had growing up in the stage years, the early stage.
Yeah, my early years, and this is the Hollywood years, because they were so fascinating and something I never, ever could have anticipated. So it seemed like I should at least tell about it, and I would not have told about it if it hadn't been for this lovely daughter of mine, who is a fine author, far better than I am, and I mean that. And we've been writing together now, how long?
Oh, 22 years.
Yes.
Actually, we should, in that little video clip, it said that we had written 19 books together, but in fact, it's, as of this book, it's 32.
So before we get into all of the stories of that, I am curious. I know there are things in my mother's life she doesn't want to share with me. You two have sat down together to tell your honest, authentic life story. Any place uncomfortable for you, Emma, to go through? Any place, Julie, you didn't want to address?
Well, I think she should start it, and maybe I'll finish this story.
Well, I mean, certainly there were places that were emotional, and maybe uncomfortable to revisit. There were no, I'm sorry to say, great surprises, because we are so close and we have been working together creatively for so long, and I was there for all of this. And as adults, we've always been very candid and trusting and respectful of one another. So
very respectful, I think, yeah. And you said to me, Mum, please just say it all. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to in any way feel bad. If there's something you don't hold back, in other words. And I decided there was very little anyway that she didn't know, so why not say it all and then edit later? Because if, because if we hadn't done it that way, it would have been so bitty, or what?
Well, you can't censor before you write.
Right.
You have to write,
get it out, and
see what it is, and then decide. And actually, what we ended up cutting was really not so much shocking or salacious stuff, but just boring stuff.
You really think so?
Sorry about that.
I'm going to get them fighting yet.
Yeah.
So Emma, any judging along the way, though? Said you wouldn't, nothing?
No, I really, honest to God, no judgment, only respect, just a tremendous amount of respect, and more respect than I already had, because realizing and re-realizing from an adult perspective how many challenges in her life she had navigated. I mean, I've always known that she's possibly the most resilient human being I've ever met, but that really came home in the process of, if you'll excuse the word, in the process of writing Homework.
Yeah. Kind of fascinating, though, too, when you think about it. And I'm curious, at what point did you realize your mother was Julie Andrews? When does that hit home? And the same question for you. When did you realize you had become this entity beyond just a person?
You start this one.
Oh, that's hard. It's too Pollyanna-ish to say that I never really, I do know that people loved the movies, and I'm so grateful that I'm the lucky girl that was asked to be in those movies. And it's just phenomenal serendipity, plus a lot of hard work. I really mean that. But nevertheless, my mother used to say to me, and it's all in the book, don't you dare pull rank, don't you dare start getting up and thinking a conceited, swollen head, because there are so many people out there that can do just what you do, perhaps better. So be grateful. And you know what? She was absolutely right. And yet, I was the lucky one that was asked to do it. So success is more being able to get through something, I think, than actually all the rewards afterwards. It's more, can you make a good movie and can it be entertaining? And the rest is icing on the cake, I think, Ernie. Darling, anything to add to that?
No, I think that's absolutely right. Can you survive the valleys as well as the peaks?
Yes, yeah, and there's a lot of flops along the way too. So it's not just peak after peak after peak, and you just have to put up with it and get on and pick yourself up and keep going.